What's some juicy gossip you just found out in your personal lives? I was told that my great-grandfather kept the family farm in business by blatant and repeated acts of insurance fraud. My grandfather and his family/friends robbed an armory decades ago. Kept the guns on the family farm until we cleared out the barn a few years back and found well over 70 different firearms in the rafters and walls. And this was only a year or so after we found over $100K in my grandma's cookbook and bonds, silver certificates and sequential serial number notes. My uncle wants to look into local bank robberies around that time period. An ex-friend of mine from high school is now in the middle of a second divorce. Apparently it's because she cheated on her second husband with her now current boyfriend. This is the second time she's cheated on her husband, and I'm curious if she'll marry the current boyfriend and then cheat on him. I hope she cheats on him with her first husband and then marries him again and then cheats on him with number 2, and then her and all the guys realize that the 4 of them belong together. Manager is having threesomes with 2 servers. What would you do if you were a restaurant manager? I tell you what I'd do, man. 2 chicks at the same time, man. Just found out that my brother, who divorced his ex-wife a year ago, got married to a new woman in secret. I mean secret as in that he hasn't told his own kids about it, 10 and 12 years old. He hasn't told us either, rest of the family. My mother just accidentally said it to all of us. So now we know, but are to pretend we don't know. None of us have met his new wife that we don't know is his wife, but still know is his wife. Semicolon. Does your mother know why he would want to keep his marriage a secret? Semicolon. My ex-wife and I finalized our divorce last June. She's giving birth in a few weeks with the guy she was cheating on me with. If it was anyone else I wouldn't care as much. But since it's this guy, it hurts. Oh, and she invited me to buy them gifts off of their baby registry. So I'm trying to think of the most petty item I could get. Though I know I shouldn't show I give a shit. Buy them a paternity test. It will get a new guy's head. One of my workmates found another guy we work with on Tinder, but he's married with a 3-year-old at home. And his bio and photos said nothing about any of that. Are there Tinder profiles that do mention they're married with kids? Not recently, but the biggest is that my aunt got arrested a while back for embezzlement. She didn't do any jail time, I don't think, just has to pay it back. This isn't much of a surprise though, because after the roof of the Blockbuster she managed collapsed, she stole all the candy, lol. The second bit of this is my favorite part of this thread. My gran has a brother who I've never heard of nor met, who lives in London. They lost all contact over 30 years ago after my granddad died. And he spent the money my gran sent him for transport up to Scotland for the funeral on drugs. My mum told me this over Facebook last week. I actually learned about this years ago, so doesn't qualify as a response to op. But it turns out that somewhere in Japan is a guy in his 60s who's half Japanese, half American. And my uncle, RIP grandpa, LT commander, US Navy, and apparently quite a dog. Edit. Oh yeah. Also figured out in my early 20s, after we both hit adulthood and the resemblance was undeniable, that my stepbrother is actually my half-brother. JFC dad. Edit 2. Oh yeah, more recently learned that my divorced aunt, late 60s, discovered that her boyfriend has another girlfriend and plans on having a poly relationship when aunt and boyfriend arrived at the house he bought in Oregon to start a pot farm and the other woman was already home. Kinda feel like I need to ditch this thread before I remember anything else. When an ex and I broke up a little over 4 years ago. It was bad. We were both getting clean and on methadone. The things that were said. November of 17. Ex asked a mutual friend if he and his girlfriend could come stay with me since they were homeless. I'm an idiot. I can't say no. I was homeless for 10 or so years. So I know how bad it can be. When I kicked them out, they had stolen so much from me. I didn't have a lot to begin with. The bitch even stole a bunch of my underwear. I literally just found out about an hour ago that she is in jail for possession. Got caught with 40 ounces of liquid heroin. Karma baby. Karma. Edit thank you for my first platinum stranger. My work requires everyone in our group have security clearance. It's boring work and the most basic of clearances. Wednesday a coworker's desk was completely cleaned out. We were told she lost her clearance and was fired. Weird. Her BFF spilled the beans later. Turns out Sharon had met a man online and they were madly in love. And she cashed out her $401k. Her life savings and a second mortgage to send to him. She's 67. To no one's surprise he's not a real person, and it was all a scam. He claimed he was royalty from Nigeria. Work found out when she started borrowing money from coworkers, and it made its way to our boss. It's very sad but still. WTF she was around when the whole Nigerian ML scam was around. She should have known better. Eater, grandma. Teach a man to fish, and he will always have food. Teach a man to fish, and he will become a Nigerian prince. Edit. Thanks strangers first Reddit gold and silver. Just found out the other week through the grapevine that 2 of my exes are now together. My friends were coming to me like, hey, didn't you used to date both of them? How did that happen? One of them is very mild-mannered and relaxed and we ended it amicably because we were getting bored. The other one is hot-headed, impulsive, and motivated. That one ended because we both had trouble communicating our grievances in a healthy manner. Given my experience with both of them, I have no idea how they are gonna make it work. But I wish them both luck. Wonder if they bonded over a mutual dislike of you. My coworker makes $10 an hour, works part-time and pays for her live-in. Still married. Boyfriend's rent and child support cause he's broke. She just found his bank receipt showing $17k in his checking account. Was this at least a wake-up call for her? My friend just dropped out of university to become an escort. He's happier. Apparently. Good for him. My hairdresser is leaving her husband and 5 kids to marry an Italian basketball player. Is this the Italian version, the Nigerian prince scam? My 2 friends just found out they have the same sugar daddy. They had both been under the impression that they were exclusive with him. Man. To be rich enough to sugar daddy for 2 girls at once. Truly the American dream. A girl I worked with accused me of getting extremely drunk while babysitting her child and told the entire building of people I work with. For starters, I don't drink. She compulsively lies and everyone knows her for that. But I still can't believe it. Oh. And she paid me $10 for watching said kid and then stole it back and blamed it on one of my house guests. Wild. I just found out my neighbor has been having an affair with another one of my neighbors and the kids figured it out. I used to see them go jogging sometimes. Nancy Drew and the oh no our parents are fucking. That my uncle left my auntie for the phone sex line worker he was calling for the last 3 years. This is the saddest story. For some reason. It's just fucking existentially sad. I have a coworker I'll call Jess, who always talks about her kids in detail and asks for favors because of her kids, i.e. picking up shifts, asking for rides, etc. One of our other coworker's son goes to the same bar as said girl, she doesn't know who he is. And one night was spilling her guts about how she always takes advantage of her coworkers and that she doesn't even have kids. She doesn't know that we know. Edit. Thank you so much for all the comments. Golden suggestions. I will definitely update everyone if anything interesting develops. It would be a shame if all of her coworkers suddenly had kids and couldn't cover for her anymore. My ex after 1 week of being single started dating this SoundCloud rapper. Now she's pregnant with twins. We are still in our teens. Do his songs slap though? My dad is having an affair. Just found out 30 minutes ago. Mom is devastated, although I had my suspicions. They've been married for 46 years. Dad is 73. Shit. I went through a similar experience. My parents were married 40+ years. Divorced. He married a woman who is almost 20 years younger than me. My dad finally spilled the beans last Christmas when he finally admitted they had been married 10 years. I'm 54. My mom survived, but it was tough. I can't say much more BC details. I'm so sorry. It will get better. Although it still hurts. 1. Cousin's wife finally caught his cheating ass. 3 years he's been playing her for a fool. But she actually knew. She just loves him too much. 2. Heard that the asshole who got me fired got fired because of the email that I sent to the company's VP. Honestly wish I went with filing for a labor case though. 3. Apparently, I'm adopted. Not really sure if the ancestry thing works. I want to find my biological parents. So much stuff is happening. I don't even know anymore lol. My cousin has been together with his wife for 14 years and has had a girlfriend for just as long. Neither of them knew about the other. He got caught because of an image on Facebook. His wife's sister posted a family picture which my cousin was in and got recognized by his girlfriend's sister's acquaintance. He got away with that for 14 years. I'm always amazed when I hear stories like this. Like how TF do you have time to lead two lives and not have them mix? I barely have enough time to see my BF. No idea how I could take on another relationship. And how do you respond when they want to meet your friends and family? That my brother asked my mom for a $1,000 for rent. She gave him $1,400 so he could also pay back a loan. Then he turned around and also asked my dad for $1,000 for rent which he also gave him. He then turned around and used the money to buy tickets to Burning Man. My parents aren't going to lend out any more money without talking to each other first. My sister did the same. Asked me for some money so she can buy a ticket to watch a movie. She said, "It's okay if I don't have money to buy drinks and popcorn. I just really want to watch the movie." I gave her extra so she can buy some food. Turned out that she said the same thing to my mom, dad and older sister. She had plenty of money to spare in the end. I hope one day she uses her powers for the greater good. My sister is pregnant with her third child. Third guy. The first father, V, is awesome. He has custody of both their child and her second. No biological relationship to him. The second baby daddy has apparently been threatening my sister and V after learning of the third child and that V took her in. V and my sister still have a functional platonic relationship at this point. And due to fear of reproach from the second and maybe the third, V has taken both kids, my pregnant sister, and his own, so with him out of state to make sure there's no reproach from 2 or 3. V is one of my favorite humans. He treats the second child like his own. Despite no longer being in a romantic relationship with my sister since 2010. Dude is as good as they come. In my opinion. This world has too many 2s and 3s and not enough Vs. Our pastor was having an affair with his cousin's wife. One day while giving a sermon, the cousin storms into church, tackles the pastor and starts to throw haymakers at him. The cousin's wife is trying to pull her husband off the pastor. The pastor's wife quickly figured out what was happening. Ran up and clocked the wife from behind, knocking her out. People are trying to separate everyone. Total chaos. I gotta start back going to church. Apparently I'm missing all the good stuff. If you enjoyed this video then hit the like button and subscribe if you'd like to see more future videos.